Coming up on the Movie Film Show today, we're going to be taking a look at the new trailer for Ghostbusters, as well as the trailer for Angelina Jolie's new film, and a very interesting project from Andrew Garfield. On top of that, we've got news about an addition to the new Indiana Jones movie and why Steven Spielberg won't be directing it. On top of that, we've got news about Mission Impossible, Top Gun, Loki, and so much more. But there's only one place to start this week, and that's with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yes, we're starting off this week's The Movie Film Show with talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because if you watch the last 3 episodes of the Movie Film Show, you'll know I haven't been a big fan. It's been slow, it's been boring, and I don't really know why I've still been watching it, other than for the show. But I gotta say, episode 4, we're finally getting somewhere. 4 out of 6 episodes in, and we're finally getting somewhere. This episode was action-packed, a lot happened, and it pushed the story forward considerably. Now at the same time, I still can't see the end goal for the series. Where's it going to end? What's the ultimate goal? Even this stage, the bad guy is still kind of unclear. They've made Carly Morgenthau, I think that's her name, seem like the bad guy, and then in this episode she seems like a good person, the right intentions, just the wrong way of doing it. And then you've got the new Captain America, which I think reasonably everybody hates. And you know, he's supposed to be Captain America, but clearly now, after that ending, he's not a good guy anymore. Are they supposed to stop the new Captain America? Is he going to go on a rampage now? Is this the beginning of the Dark Avengers? Who knows? There's certainly some interesting stuff happening in the MCU now. And for once, I'm actually looking forward to next week's episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'd say this week's episode had so much going into it. The big part for me, I thought, was the fight with the soldiers from Wakanda. I forget the name. I'm terrible with names. If you've seen this channel, you'll know that. But the fight between the Avengers, I guess, and the Wakandan soldiers in this like fancy hotel room, that was pretty badass. And the new Captain America got his ass handed to him. And then you had the moment in this one where they showed that Carly Morgenthau, she's not super evil, she's got the right intentions and perhaps going about it the wrong way. And they planted the seeds in this week's episode that she could be turned into a good person or a superhero or maybe an Avenger, someone to side with the Falcon perhaps. Zemo escaped through all the commotion and I'm sure he's gonna be hunted down at some point. And then we get to the end, and if you haven't seen the episode, I'd say skip forward to the next section of the video. But we have Carly Morgenthau, I guess, accidentally kills the new Captain America's sidekick. I forget his name. Again, terrible with names. But she instantly shows remorse and the new Captain America snaps. We finally see his true colors come out, I guess. You know, and we've seen him be tempted by that serum and talking to his sidekick guy, whose name I forget, about what they could have done with that serum back in the past. And that's the thing about this show. They love exposition. They don't show you what could have happened. They don't show flashbacks. They go, remember when we did this that the audience doesn't see, but remember that time, that was great when we did that thing that time years ago, that was awesome. That's basically what they do with a lot of the show. That's what they've done with the new Captain America. Right from the start, they had him on Good Morning America. They gave his credentials to us right there. They're like, oh, you're an army guy, you've served in this war, you've done this, you've got this Medal of Honor, you've got this and that, this is why you're great. And we're supposed to just believe it. And I think that's why a lot of people dislike them. And I'm sure that was intentional, but it just seems poor filmmaking, TV making, series making, whatever you want to call it, poor writing. But at some point in this episode, Carly Morgenthau sets out her plan to kill the new Captain America. And I know I wasn't probably supposed to, but I started cheering at that point. I was cheering her on, hoping she'd do it, because I've been saying from episode 1, I hope they kill him off really quickly. So 2 more episodes to go, here's hoping. But I'd love to know your opinions on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let me know all about it in the comment section below. Moving on to some of the biggest movie news and trailers of the week. This week, sticking with MCU, we finally got a trailer for Loki.
I know what this place is. The Timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection.
Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
I am smart.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
Sign this too.
Now, I've been saying, since the formation of the movie film show, I'm really looking forward to Loki. I think it's going to be better than WandaVision, certainly better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I keep calling it Captain and the Winter Soldier. I don't know why. But I think it's certainly going to be better than those two, but maybe I'm getting my hopes up a little too much. Loki, personally, has been one of my favourite characters. I think he's had some of the best humour in the series. He's been unique, and Tom Hiddleston's just made that character his own over the years. And it's hard to see anyone else playing Loki, and it's great that he's getting his own series. I think it's going to be really good. And hopefully, I'm not building it up too much for myself, and I'm going to be let down in the end, because this trailer certainly looks pretty damn good. Owen Wilson in there too, another famous actor joined the MCU that we're probably all going to forget about. It's going to be like a pub quiz in a few years. But moving swiftly on, but sticking yet again with the MCU, this week we got news of an addition to the She-Hulk series. Renee Elise Goldsberry, who was in Hamilton, she's now joined the cast of She-Hulk. Now, She-Hulk, if you don't know, is going to be played by Tatiana Maslany, who I know mostly from Orphan Black, which is one of my favorite series on Netflix. It was fantastic, and Tatiana Maslany in that show is sensational. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does as She-Hulk. Now, the whole idea of She-Hulk in itself is questionable, and based on what I've read the series is going to be, it does seem they're taking it in more of a comic approach. Reportedly, the series is going to be like a comedy drama type of thing, and She-Hulk is the cousin of Bruce Banner. I don't know how she ends up with the powers of her cousin. There's questions to be asked there. We're not going to get into that. But it has been confirmed that Mark Ruffalo will be appearing in that series as well. So he kind of gets his own series, show, film, spin-off thing. It's kind of weird that Mark Ruffalo's been this embedded in the MCU and still hasn't got his own movie or show. And even for She-Hulk, it seems like he's going to be a side character popping up here and there. Hopefully at some point, Mark Ruffalo gets his own Hulk movie, and it's better than the last 3 or 4 Hulk movies. You know, because they were all terrible. Another trailer which caught my eye this week is this one.
You have the talent. Whether you have the killer instinct is the big question.
She thought she owned everyone.
It's foolish. Unhinged. Well, you're fired. Why are you speaking?
I think you've nicked me. But there's something about poetic justice that's just so poetic.
You won't admit you love me, and so how
Do you have a light?
to know you always tell me.
Get her.
This doesn't have to be a scene.
It really, really does. I'd like to remind you all that I'm doing this in heels.
What was your name?
Cruella.
Perhaps.
Cruella comes out on Disney Premier Access and in select theaters around the world on May 28th. It's not too far away, and if you're a fan of the iconic character, it certainly looks like an interesting movie. I was never a big 101 Dalmatians fan, the animated one or the live action one from the 90s, even though I'm a big Disney fan. But I gotta say, this trailer looks really awesome. The set dressings, the use of color, just the overall style of the movie looks really good. Emma Stone and Emma Thompson both look like they're gonna be badass in this movie, that they're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And Emma Stone just looks made for this role. Even the effects of in the trailer when she like burns the robe off to reveal the dress, that's pretty impressive effects and pretty cool visual that we haven't seen before, at least in a movie like that. A movie that I was definitely underwhelmed for before, but now I'm really looking forward to checking out. And not too long to wait on that one either. But speaking of a Disney-owned title, Indiana Jones, the next one, probably the Indiana Jones and the old folks home at this stage. That movie is well underway, well in the works, and they've now confirmed a new addition to the cast. Phoebe Waller-Bridge has joined the cast this week of Indiana Jones 5 or 6. Which one is it? 5? Once Shia LaBeouf's not in it, I'll be pretty happy. The interesting thing with the next Indiana Jones film, no Steven Spielberg. He's not directing this one. This version of Indy is going to be directed by James Mangold, the man who directed great movies like The Wolverine. Okay, he's done more movies than just The Wolverine, but that one really caught my eye on his resume. He made the 2013 version of The Wolverine, and now he's making Indiana Jones. Now he has made, depending on the country you're living in, he either made Ford versus Ferrari or Le Mans 66, because they're the same movie with a completely different title for some reason. Varying degrees of success there. Ford versus Ferrari, we'll just call it that for now. Very good movie. He also directed the noir version of Logan, I believe. So he's got some good credentials under his belt, but we can't let it slide that he has directed the Wolverine, you know, and that was just awful. Absolutely terrible. But you may be asking now, why is Steven Spielberg not involved in this project? Why he's not directing it? Well, he's busy making his own movie. At least he's in the works of making his own movie based on his own childhood. That could be very interesting, because Steven Spielberg's story of how he became director is interesting. The story I've heard is that at one stage he just rocked up to a movie studio on a tour, split away from the tour, walked into an office and just stayed there, and just no one questioned it, and eventually over time he just took over the office, and that's how he made contacts. And that's the story I've heard, at least, and I'm sure it's a very watered down version of the actual events. It's like that Michael J. Fox film from the 80s I always forget about. I forget the name of. With the new Steven Spielberg movie, it already has Michelle Williams attached to play his mother and Seth Rogen attached to play his uncle. And the movie's coming out in 2022. So it seems like it's gonna be a long project, a lot of work gone into it for Spielberg. So I'm expecting something pretty spectacular. In other movie news this week, various other films being either delayed or pushed forward, starting with Mission Impossible 7. Mission Impossible 7 was set to come out this year in November, on November 19th, and it's now set to come out on the 27th of May, 2022, which is a shame, because, you know, the Mission Impossible series has been pretty good for the most part. But on November 19th, you'll still have something to watch, because Top Gun Maverick, which is Top Gun 2, that comes out on November 19th now. Initially scheduled for 4th of July. Interestingly, both films star Tom Cruise, so maybe it's just a bit of work overload there. He has to focus on one before he can jump into the rest of the other. And of course, they want to wait till cinemas are actually open across the world so they can make that money. But in, I guess, good news, the next G.I. Joe film, called Snake Eyes, has been pushed forward. Initially, you're gonna have to wait all the way till October 22nd, but now it's coming out in July 2021. So, you know, if you're looking forward to the next G.I. Joe film, it's on the way. You're probably like the only person in the world waiting for it, but it's on the way. And then the other movie that was announced that was delayed a little bit this month is Jackass. The next version of Jackass, I didn't know they were still doing it. Honestly, I thought they were too old to keep doing this shit, but that's been pushed back to October. It was initially set to come out in September. So if you're waiting for a new Jackass movie, if you're super hyped for it, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait another month. I'm sure everybody's crying over that spilt milk. Can't say I'm too excited for the next Jackass movie, but one movie that certainly looks intriguing is the next Angelina Jolie movie.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I want to see where the blood's coming from. It's not my blood. You in trouble? Anyone else in trouble?
My dad said if anything happened, I should find someone I can trust. Are you someone I can trust?
We promise absolutes. Act accordingly.
Those men that came for your father, did you see their faces? That's them.
Cut you down.
Give me something else to worry about.
Certainly an action-packed film right there, and if you want to check out the full trailer, there will be a link in the description below. That movie stars John Barenthal, Aidan Gillen, Nicholas Hoult, and of course Angelina Jolie, to name a few, and it certainly looks like an interesting movie. That movie comes out on HBO Max in America on May 14th. And the interesting thing about May 14th is that Netflix also have a big movie coming out that day called The Woman in the Window.
So what's the latest on the street?
Your neighbor, she's become a friend.
Her name is Jane Russell.
Do you want to go outside?
You know, I have a shrink of my own.
911?
My neighbor Jane, she's been stabbed.
Detective Little, NYPD.
Where's Jane?
Mr. Russell believes that you made a mistake.
You have never met my wife.
Ma'am, you all right?
I know Jane. Jane's been in my house.
I'm Jane Russell.
Amy Adams, Gary Oldman, Julianne Moore. That's a hell of a cast. To me, it looks really awesome. A little bit of a shade of like Rear Window in there. Amy Adams, phenomenal actress. I think I could watch her all day long in a lot of these movies. Woman in the Window, if I haven't mentioned already, May 14th on Netflix, competing with Angelina Jolie's movie on HBO Max. It'll be interesting to see which of those two movies is better. Moving on from some action-packed movies to, I don't really know what you call this next movie. You kind of just have to see it for yourself.
My little niece worships these guys who do and say nothing.
Yo, why is my existence so lit?
And promote a lifestyle of doing and saying nothing.
Hashtag swimming pool, hashtag cocktail, hashtag this pineapple life. You can't be following me. Like I'm no one special, man.
Holy. You've got talent. Do you want to be the guys that made 2 cool videos? Or do you want to be no one special?
This is the beginning.
People came.
Oh my God! This is all that matters. We're all here.
It's crazy how good this is, huh?
We have phone or no phone.
I'm Charles Melton, and I'm here with No One Special.
Then we have the game show. Bad idea. Good idea?
I love you, No One Special. This is just feeling so right. We're about to go stratospheric.
You know I see you, right?
You see me?
Don't hurt her.
I love that, Jake. Are you prepared to let the world see the real you? He's not who he says he is. Your success.
So yeah, that movie kind of looks interesting. I've already seen comparisons of Andrew Garfield's performance to Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker, and if his performance is on that level, it could be a pretty good movie. And again, like with all the trailers in this show, if you want to check out the full trailer, there will be a link in the description below. But wasting no time, let's jump into the most exciting trailer of the week for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Jamocha.
Strawberry, red velvet,
Blue velvet.
So Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm not sure what I think about this one. That trailer, both love it and hate it, because number one, it looks really good, it looks funny, it looks unique. It doesn't look anything like the original films were. It definitely has its own spin on it. Paul Rudd, I'll watch anything with Paul Rudd in it. I think he's a fantastic actor, comedy-wise or drama-wise, and he's perfectly set for a Ghostbusters movie. If you could travel back in time and take one actor back to the past and put him in the original Ghostbusters film, Paul Rudd would be a fantastic fit for that. How you'd achieve that, I don't know. Why you'd want to do that specifically with time travel, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But Ghostbusters Afterlife, you know, it's the 4th Ghostbusters movie, but after the last one, surely it can only be good. Bill Murray has come out and said that he believes the movie has done the franchise justice or something to that effect. And even based on the trailer they released last year's for Ghostbusters, the full trailer, I was pretty hyped for it anyway. Without getting too hyped, I'm saying it looks like we might be on the verge of finally getting a good Ghostbusters reboot. Although don't hold me to that, it might be terrible. We'll wait and see. I'm not quite sure when it comes out, but when it does come out, I'll be front and center waiting for that one. But of course, like with anything on this show, I want to know your thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife or anything featured on the show. Let me know your thoughts on anything featured today, what you're hyped for, what you're not hyped for. But if you enjoyed the movie film show today, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button for a new show every single Monday. With all that said and done, thank you so much for watching.